I think it's fair to say, is it time we spoke about Liverpool's demise? In that sense, I mean, we should talk about Liverpool's poor performance in the Premier League this season. Generally, actually, even in the Premier League, I think they are doing poorly, in my opinion. And I think it's high time we have a conversation on this kind of demise, because they have fallen like from here to here. Like the levels are too high, you know. It's just been a downgrade, like from where they were the previous 2 years, 3 years, in the previous 3 years. Like it's been so downhill, like they've been sliding so down, and it's too fast. And in my view, like in a very few words, if I'm to give my view on this kind of demise from Liverpool, like I said yesterday, Jurgen Klopp is rather getting out of it. The other day he was being interviewed by the media and was rather prickly with the media. Like it is too bad for him. His time, I think his time might be up. No, I won't be surprised if FSG fires him. FSG, the owners of Liverpool. I think it is called FSG's Fenway Sports Group, the American group. I won't be surprised if they fire him. They fire Jurgen Klopp at this moment, because Liverpool are simply not performing. And here are some of my reasons that I think Liverpool are actually doing bad. First of all, I think Jurgen Klopp got the whole transfer window wrong. They got it wrong. From the moment he signed Darwin Núñez. Sorry about that. From the moment he signed Darwin Núñez, that was a bad move for him. I don't know how he got successful to this move, and things haven't worked out. I don't think the guy is going to work out. That guy was in the Spanish Segunda, the Spanish second division, like the Spanish championship, the championship version of Spain. Just had a few bits of few cameos here and there, and then he was scooped up by Benfica. And then all of a sudden, within the season, the guy is costing £85 million. That was a shocker to me. I think the guy is not worth it, and the guy is not going to be able to cut it in the Premier League. He can't just make it. He got the whole transfer of Darwin Núñez wrong, and Jurgen Klopp was wrong about that, whether you believe it or not, in my opinion. The other reason could be about the transfer window still. I think Liverpool was playing a long game. Long game in what sense? You remember what Manchester City decided to do in terms of when they were pursuing Haaland. Manchester City knew they wanted Erling Haaland from the beginning. And Kun Aguero was leaving the club at the time. So they decided to play without a proper number 9 through the whole season, well knowing that there was someone they wanted in Erling Haaland. They knew he was going to be available within next summer for free. And they would just pay his buyout clause, and that's it. That's how people are wondering how they got him for so cheap. That's the reason why. So Dortmund had no option rather than cash in on what was available, because the guy was going to leave anyway. Within 6 months he was going to be gone for free. So they had to accept the buyout clause from City, and City played the long game, and they ended up actually winning, taking their man. Now they have their guy scoring goals left, right, and center. They had to play the long game, wait until time is almost over. We can go through this period without a proper number 9. We can play all our games on this. And Pep Guardiola actually managed to do this. They eventually got their man in Erling Haaland. This, how do I relate it to the Liverpool situation? Liverpool, they wanted Jude Bellingham. The other choice was Aurelien Tchouameni from Monaco. Jude Bellingham couldn't come. They didn't get him. They didn't get Tchouameni either. Real Madrid tipped them over Tchouameni. They pursued Jude Bellingham so long that they ended up missing out on Tchouameni. Tchouameni ended up being tipped over and taken by Real Madrid. So Liverpool ended up without Jude Bellingham, not Tchouameni, nothing. So they ended up going for other scraps. The transfer window was run out. Their midfield is shaky. That's how they end up with people like Arthur Melo. The guy was always on the sick bed. I don't even know. Sometimes you'd even forget whether the guy is still alive or not. He's still playing in the Premier League, or I don't think this guy is going to play in a single game for Liverpool. So they end up getting the whole transfer window wrong. I don't know who is behind this. Could it be Klopp's decision or FSG decision? So we leave to someone's calling me. Yes. We leave to tell and know who actually make these decisions. These kind of decisions. Is it FSG or Jurgen Klopp himself? Something has to give. And at the moment, Liverpool are not doing so well. They got the whole transfer. Actually, in my opinion, given my reasons that I've given, I think Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool and the whole FSG man, they got the whole transfer window wrong. They might have some time to put it back again and put it together. Because their team is still good. They still have a good team. They still have a good team that can compete. Actually, they just need a few signings here and there, and they can compete again. In my opinion, they can compete again. So, they just need a few signings. Because all these guys, Harvey Elliott, William this Cavallo guy, they're not going to make it. They can't candidate. They're championship players at best, and they are young. They still have to grow. You cannot compete with Rodri, the likes of Rodri in Man City's midfield. Look at Rodri. Look at Gundogan. Look at Bernardo Silva. All of these players are Kevin De Bruyne. You can't compete with them. You look at Arsenal. You have Thomas Partey, Granit Xhaka, all these. Martin Odegaard, you cannot compare to them. Look at United. All this experience, Christian Eriksen, all these guys in the United midfield, you can't compare to the Liverpools now, right at the moment. So, in my opinion, I think Liverpool's demise this season stems from the transfer window. They got the whole idea of the transfer window wrong. And that was the Achilles heel. That's the Achilles heel that's still bothering them up to now, in my opinion. Then the other issue, the other thing I would attach to that. So many people say, maybe I may be convinced also to think the same way. In the seventh year jinx of Jurgen Klopp, probably he's in that year where he's going wrong everywhere has been. Look at his record. He's been performing poorly in the 7th year, and I may not be surprised if it is coming back, if the chickens are coming back home to roast. You know what I mean? We might be going back to the same thing. The chickens are coming home to roast for Jurgen Klopp in the 7th year, and that's how it is. So we just have to accept and move on with that. Anyways, we'll live to see, but I don't think Liverpool are going to win the Premier League this season. No way. That is out of it. Because when the season started, we had Liverpool, Man City. Myself, I had Man City in the first, Liverpool second, and then others third, fourth, fifth would sort themselves out. That was still an open space even up to now. But as I'm talking right now, Arsenal has already replaced Liverpool in the contention for the championship, for the Premier League. Anyway, we live to see what happens in the future for Liverpool. I hope they can get back, and in my opinion, I would like a competitive league. I mean, like, we don't have to have a farmers league where Man City is going to be winning day in, day out, weekend in, weekend out, and they are dominating all these. Sorry, somebody is disturbing me, calling me about that. Sorry about that. We don't need to live with all that. It's already becoming a farmers' league, more like the French league. I'm sorry to say. We need competitiveness in the league. Anyway, so today we will be having some Champions League games. We have Champions League games today. Let me check my system. We have Group A up to Group C. Group A to Group C. We have Bayern playing Inter Milan, Atletico playing Porto, Club Brugge playing against Bayer Leverkusen, Olympique Marseille playing Tottenham, Rangers against Ajax, Victoria Pilsen, Barcelona, Sporting, and Eintracht Frankfurt. Then the other games will be Liverpool playing against Napoli. This game is rather tricky. Napoli has already qualified. They have 15 points. So if Liverpool actually wins this game, they beat Napoli, they'll be on the same points as Napoli. They'll be tied on the same number of points. It will be 15 points. But Napoli has a superior goal difference. So Liverpool needs 6 goals in this game for them to equal. They actually need 7 goals because Liverpool is on 9, Napoli is on 16 goals. So there's a goal difference of 7. So Napoli is already. I don't think they will come out with a lot of. They are going to, because they are doing great even in the Serie A. They are performing very well. They might be in competition for the title. This is the Scudetto, the Italian Championship, the Scudetto. So Liverpool, whether they win this game, whether Napoli rather, whether they lose this game or not to Liverpool, they are still in the contention. They are still topping the group. Whatever happens, they will top the group. Then the other team, Ajax, heading for the Europa League definitely. Rangers have nothing to offer. Right? They have nothing to chase. They have lost all their games. Ajax has 3 points. So I think everybody's guaranteed their place in this group. So most of the groups will be meaningless. For guys who are going for betting, I would rather go for a game between Napoli and Liverpool. I'd rather go for an under, like an under 3.5. I think so. This might be good for you actually, because I don't think this game is going to be so much of a hype. Now Liverpool is looking at the Premier League to perform better in the Premier League rather than Champions League. Then the other Rangers and Ajax game, I wouldn't advise anybody to go for that game because the game has no motive in it. Maybe Rangers trying to pull one over Ajax for that kind of credibility, but I don't think there's an aim to this game. Then the other game I would talk about is Marseille against Tottenham. That's a very, very, very tricky game. Spurs has to win this game if they need to stay on top of the group. They have 8 points, Sporting 7, Frankfurt 7, Marseille 6. So this means Marseille is looking for a win, outright win. If they win this game, they'll be topping the group with 9 points. The same applies to that is if Sporting, subject to the result between Sporting and Eintracht Frankfurt. If any of them win, any of those two, Eintracht Frankfurt and Sporting Lisbon wins, they will be the leaders of the group. They with 10 points. If Spurs win, they will be on 11 points. They will be leading the group. And I don't think the way Spurs are playing, I don't think they're going to pick up a win from France, from Stade Val-de-Rhône. I don't think so. They will be playing in France, in Marseille. It is the stadium is called Stade Val. The word is actually very hard to pronounce. Velodrome. Stade Velodrome. Yeah, that's the name of it. I'm sorry if I butchered it. I'm very sorry about that. But I don't think Spurs will pick up the game from here. And Sporting has been very good at home. They might actually beat Eintracht Frankfurt. So this group is too wide open. If you are a betting man, I would advise. I would go Tottenham and Marseille. That's an under. That's an over 2.5. I'm sure it's going to go to a 2-2 draw. over 2.5. Then Sporting and Eintracht, I think it would be, I would give an over 1.5. I wouldn't go for straight wins and something. If I'm to risk, I would go with Sporting win rather, but better to go for the 1.5 over. Yeah. Then the other games we might be interested in might be Barcelona will be playing Victoria Plzen. This group, Bayern is already done. 15 points, they already taken that group. Even if Inter wins in the second position, they will not even reach them. They still have 10 points. Barcelona might want to push and make it to 7 points, but they are still going out regardless of result. So I wouldn't go for this game. So it is an aimless game. If I'm betting, I wouldn't go for it. You might try and go for Bayern Inter Milan and go for an under 3.5, in my opinion. Yeah, basically the other games we won't go through them. I normally give in my opinion, if I'm a betting man, I normally go for 3 to 4 games, maximum 5 games. That's all. I don't really like doing these huge receipts and all, and having a whole list of, as if it's a grocery shopping list. That's it from me, and let's see you in another video. Subscribe to the channel, keep liking it helps the channel grow and gives us more mileage. Please subscribe and like the channel, hit the subscribe button, keep following, keep watching our videos. Thank you very much, and we appreciate you so much. Have a nice day. Bye.